particularly with shots like that. That's out of here.
Bouncing like a pinball on that roof. It's big. It's very big. And here she comes. Here she comes.
A beautiful, uncomplicated 6 by Shoaib Malik for the Guyana Amazon Warriors. Danny, what makes him so effective? He plays, in leagues pretty much around the world, does Shoaib Malik. What makes him so successful, playing all of these leagues across the world, across surfaces, across, temperatures, weathers, stadiums?
Again, he's another guy that's been around for so long. It's incredible. I think he made his debut back in the 20th century. It was 1999. We keep unearthing one of those because he's extraordinary. To show about for how long he's been in the game. And he's another really gifted cricketer that bats up and down the order a bit. And on slower surfaces, I think he's really dangerous because, again, a subcontinent player used to slower pitches in the UAE or back in Pakistan. And, again, he's slightly off. He's got one of those lovely pickups that Mooj was chatting about the other day. Guys with lovely swings in the arc. Just a great hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, I'm sure he plays golf in his off time as well, as do a lot of you guys. Tom, do you reckon that that Shoaib Malik is probably one of the all-time hero CPL greats?
There's no question of that. He's one of the sort of iconic overseas players because he's done it year in, year out. He's performed as a captain. He's performed as a batsman. He's performed as a bowler. In the CPL over a long sustained period. He's in the twilight of his career, but he still keeps delivering. You said uncomplicated, and that's exactly what Shoaib Malik's game's about. It's very uncomplicated. His method of batting is very simple. He understands what process he needs to go through to get to the end result. There's no sort of heart flutters. It's very organised and it's very regimented the way he goes about any sort of batting innings, whether he's chasing runs or setting a total. He's creative as a captain. He understands the game. He reads the game very well. And his bowling is more than useful. He can bowl with a new ball in power play if the right matchup's there. If there's a left-hand opening bat, he's more than handy to use with a new ball in power play, and also can bowl throughout the innings. So he's the real package, and he deserves to be sort of recognised as one of CPL's greats.
Absolutely. We have a viewer question, which Tom, if you just take a stab at, please. Which the question is that should Shoaib Malik be included in Pakistan's T20 World Cup team for later this year?
Wow, okay.
Coach Moody.
Yeah, look, to be honest with you, it's a really hard question for me to answer, purely because without really understanding where Pakistan are at the moment with their squad and the balance of their squad, I'd be taking a real guess whether he should be or shouldn't be in there. But let me just get off the fence and say, if there's a better option that's got the experience and the level head that he has got, I'd like to know what that name is, because he's got an enormous amount of experience that I'm sure will provide that Pakistan side a lot of stability in the roles that he can play.
Right. Danny, what do you think?
Well, given that it's in the UAE and Shoaib's clearly played a lot of cricket there, and I'm with Moods, I would have him. So let's go further than team. Let's have him in the squad, because as Mood says, there's younger guys, and you've got Shoaib Khan, and of course you're developing other guys in that role. I see Shoaib looking to perhaps take over that from Shoaib Malik, but there's no doubt with all that experience, as Mood just ticked all those boxes, you'd have to have him in your squad there for this next World T20.
So use him a bit like, some of the franchise teams have been using Chris Gale to bring him tactically for a few matches, maybe sit him out for a couple and bring him back. Just to have him around in the squad would be very valuable.
100%.
Yeah, and the other thing we need to remember is this World Cup, they're extended squads as well because of the COVID situation and the replacement for squads. So there's no reason why he could be considered for the extended squad. He may not be in the 15, which is the cut-off point of the playing squad. Countries have the option to have 2 or 3 or 4, players on the reserve as an extended squad. And you may just sort of think, look, if something goes wrong with player A or B, he's exactly the player that we need to bring into the squad because of what he can offer. And those players are still involved in the campaign, but they're obviously not available to play unless they're engaged as a replacement.